Hello, wonderful people. This is my first ever attempt at commentating a game from an exit tournament, so please forgive how bad I will be. So this is the first round of the top 8, and this is a match between MiX and Shelby. These two players met before during the bracket stage. Well, not the bracket stage, the regular stage, however you call it. And MiX defeated Shelby 2-1 in what was not the closest set, but competitive. MiX has brought a team of 4 characters consisting of Ken, Plague Knight, Hakumen, and Carmine, while Shelby, I believe, is bringing Kami, Polar Knight, Rachel, and Byakuya. So MiX is basically running what I believe he considers S-tier characters, while Shelby is running characters that are not very commonly seen but still powerful, with the exception of Byakuya, who is pretty widely not considered a powerful character. However, happens to be a character that I have been leaving myself recently, and he does have his tools and his tricks, so it feels like a character that if he decides to bring it up, could maybe run away with a win. Particularly if MiX happens to not know the matchup very well. Oh, the selection has happened. The first game will be between Rachel and Ken. MiX has been using Ken as his anchor, a really powerful character that he particularly considers to be one of the best characters in the game. And it's also a really consistent character with consistent execution of his win cons. Also not the hardest to play, probably. Meanwhile, Rachel is a character that has a really high potential. But not many people play because she is really hard to play. It seems MiX won the coin toss, so Ken will be going first. I believe hearing that Shelby is one of the few people that main Rachel. This will be an interesting match to watch. I have never seen Ken versus Rachel before, but I have seen and played a lot of Ken, and I have seen and played Rachel. So I hope I will be able to be helpful with the interactions that happen. So of course, first turn already happened. Ken is using Ken action to move forward. I didn't pay attention to how many cards the players mulliganed. That won't happen again, I'm sorry. Yeah, Ken, when he goes first, there is not a range 4 turn 1. It's just range 3 most of the time. Rachel boosting Grasp and responding with True Master, Better Fears. Usually probably considered too risky to boost True Master very early because the opponent is likely to have Diving Hand from the mulligan, particularly against Ken, for this sad reason. So Dive is a range 4 card and a really good tool to deal with this boost specifically. Really, really powerful boost. Shelby's a player that really thinks his turns through. That's part of the reason the previous set between Shelby and MiX took 2 hours to resolve. And this is a best of 5, not a best of 3, so it could be even longer. It doesn't help that MiX plays Hakumen, character that wants the game to go as long as possible. Rachel is also a character who doesn't mind the games going very long, because the more Lovelias that she draws, the more lightning rods on the battlefield and the harder it is for the opponent to play footsies, because lightning rod spaces are basically banned from being in. It's 2 free damage, and it's damage that stuns. So if you play a slower card than Rachel, even if Rachel whiffs, she can stun you. And if she doesn't whiff, she is basically getting +2 power for free. And also she recurs the card that is under the lightning rod, so she potentially has some recursion. Oh, Shelby is going for a reading. Going for a reading and playing an EX. Oh, he's reading grass and he missed. I think this is EX sweep. But it could be EX assault. MiX is reading himself. Yeah. The true master means that MiX's assault, Ken's assault, is faster than Rachel's CX assault. And that is a really, really unfortunate turn for Shelby. Oh, interesting. I have not a lot of experience hosting for people who are not promoted. Okay. Oh, MiX disconnected. This is why MiX cannot host. MiX can never host games, because he disconnects a lot. But yeah, we can take advantage of this moment to appreciate what just happened. So Rachel Shelby was going for a high risk, high reward play. Normally reading and playing EX assault is really, really safe, because even if you miss the reading, assault should still hit. But since MiX had True Master on the board and he had a speed 5 attack, not so safe anymore. If he had not had assault, he would have had to trade with the 7 power EX assault, which is not nearly as good as what he got. Perfect. I believe now it's MiX's turn. His hand is visible, and he throws everything away. Not even keeping the Hadouken in there. Just get rid of everything. Hadouken is not Ken's strongest card, so it's probably fine to get rid of it, particularly at range 1. The push can be useful to... It's useful in some interactions. For example, you can play sweep with it to beat focus. No, sweep with it to beat sweep. Yeah, +1 power sweep to beat sweep. And +1 power ass kick to beat focus. And other similar breakpoints can be reached using this boost. But then most of the time, situational and not the most powerful card in his arsenal. His arsenal is made of powerful cards. Almost everything here is really powerful. Yeah, we are gonna be trying a lot of these things out, because I have never hosted without promoting people. This might be everything. This might be everything. Rachel is prepping, and it's Ken's turn again. See, I was saying how Ken just has powerful cards all around. I believe Shoryuken is probably his worst card. Oh, that's a nice way to track normals. Very nice. Shoryuken is probably his worst card, and it's critical above curve. So yeah, that should tell you something. Well, maybe Tatsu as an attack is not the best. MiX boosting light, so he's threatening really high speed in range 1, and he disconnected again. I even disabled all the other tables so that the performance is as smooth as possible. That's really unfortunate. Since I'm talking about Ken's cards, I should also talk about Rachel's cards. And these are also really powerful. Electric Chair is kind of worse focus. Yeah, significantly worse focus. It loses to grasp. But Lovelias are both Lovelias are strong projectiles with guaranteed value. Spike Drop is almost like a pretty fast ignore armor card, with potential for hitting for a 5 printed. And Whirlwind is obviously above curve with an extremely good hit effect. So her card quality is pretty high. Oh, very nice. Playing sweep is a way to deal with light, because if you are gonna be slower anyway, you don't care about light being boosted. MiX made the right read and played cross, and then just Kenatsun to move closer to range 3. You don't wanna be at range 4 more from Rachel, because the Lovelias are powerful cards. Oh, I believe this is Migo Hunter? Maybe? I am really bad with names. Also, her boost game is also pretty good. This is a good ultra. This is a good ultra too. It's harder to play. Yeah, Migo, way more experienced than me, way better player than me. I hope he will help with maintaining game state. Another strike is happening, and MiX is calling out Flying Lobelia with Nivas. Nivas, not a commonly used strike, because the boost is really good. But it's actually a good strike. With the crit is range 4, so it hits despite Flying Lovelia's boost effect. And MiX wins the trade. He already has a 10 life lead. And now Ken can just step out of the road with his action, and he only has to discard 1 card as a prize. Shelby, not managing his economy the best, only has 2 cards in hand. Ken is full 7. This might be trouble. I mean, yeah, this is a really tough game already. Second light. MiX threatening speed 7 assault. MiX threatening above curve dive. On curve spike. Yeah, that would be a dream. Commentating alongside or casting alongside MiX, sharing the booth with him will be an honor. Oh, another one. What is this? Oh, makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna keep apologizing, that is just annoying. Yeah, light at range 3, extremely dangerous range. Jesus Christ. I didn't know all this stuff existed. What even is pointers? What? Okay, I think this is this. I think it's that. Yeah, it's that. So what is this? Well, I cannot interact with anything because I'm in spectator mode, so if they find another thing they can just tell me. Yeah, Rachel cannot really... Wow. Wait, he's thinking about it? Yeah, he's going backwards. Rachel not really able to prep at range 1 of Ken. Now she uses her UA to retreat for 1 force and then take another action which was prepping, which is better than a regular move action. This is not only usable to reposition before a strike, you can also use it to move with better economy like this. Very powerful UA, unique ability. MiX says I don't care. I'm boosting fierce. What are you gonna do? Shelby parries Hadouken, which is the most obvious threat at this range. And 8 powers its speed Hadouken. There is not really anything you can do about it. If she had gates, she could EX Tempest Dahlia to beat it, but that's about it. Oh, that sounds like a cute play. Ooh, MiX thinking about stepping into the rod just to get closer. He will have to discard a card, and the rod is a risky place to be in. But he has +2 power, +2 speed. Oh, rushdown style. No? No, not rushdown style. 2 force to move 2. So in range 2 still threatening the same things as before, because now dive hits, because Rachel is only 1 space to the corner. So still threatening on curve dive, speed 5 spike, speed 7 assault, speed 5 Tatsumaki Senpukyaku. And of course, now Ash Kick is for the first time in the game. Will be 1, 2, 7, 8. Ignore armor. Basically unbeatable. 7 damage to the face, and there is not much you can do about it. Really dangerous card, really dangerous position for Rachel. She's using 3 force to change cards. Doesn't like her hand. Yeah, when you are eating an ass kick to the face, sometimes the best thing you can do Oh, it's not ass kick, it's just spike. Same result, 7 damage to the face. It's just more beatable, but yeah. Shelby was probably assuming the ass kick is coming, so just in case it isn't coming, play block. He didn't even think about playing a card that beats a spike, which is nothing. Jesus. Cross couldn't work, Whirlwind couldn't work. He will need EX Assault, which he already played. Yeah. Rachel UA to retreat 1, boost Grasp, boost Fierce. Unfortunately, because Ken just used Spike instead of Ass Kick. Ass Kick is still on the table. Using 3 force, 2 advance 3, and then a strike. Wait. No, what did he do? Oh, he played this boost. I'm an idiot. Oh no. Oh wait. Oh, it was an EX ass kick. Yeah, EX ass kick to beat cross. Oh man, that's rough. That's really rough. I'm trying to commentate too much and I'm missing plays happening. Whoa, 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 whoa. The Shinryuken is coming. Rachel cannot even block it. She's down everything. Oh my god, no! Rachel is gonna die. MiX double checking the Shinryuken is unbeatable. Oh, it's unbeatable even without Tatsu. That's too bad. Oh no, it's a mess up. It's assault. The game is over. No, he didn't have Shinryuken. He was gonna play Guren. Amazing. That was a really cool sequence. Rachel using the boost. Rachel using the boost on Baden Lily to go to the lightning rod space and then play cross, met with an EX ass kick, 7 speed beats cross, and then the follow up was really weird mix up. MiX didn't have Shinryuken, but he just played assault for the win into a wild swing that just didn't work. Oh, that was a cheeky play. I see what Migo and Cpat mean by MiX doing cheeky plays, yeah. So now... So now, according to the tournament rules, which I have somewhere over here, according to the rules now, yeah, the winner has to retire the character he won the game with. So now MiX cannot use Ken anymore. The loser can use whatever they want. So Shelby could play Rachel again, knowing that she cannot face Ken again. So Shelby, another opportunity. Oh, and there's the Hakuman. And Shelby has decided to shake up and play Kami instead. So this is the game that Shelby won in the last BO3. Shelby won Hakumen versus Kami because MiX had a life lead and kind of threw it away because he made a huge mistake. Happens. Shelby played that game well though. So let's see what happens now. Will MiX have learned from his mistakes? Or were actually not mistakes and just Shelby being really good at Kami? Who knows? This will be a hard matchup, like a relatively hard matchup for Hakumen, because Kami has tools that can deal with Hakumen's strongest cards. But they are not the easiest to play. Also, Shelby will be going first because loser chooses. And there is no reason to ever choose going second. At least not without Season 2. There was arguments for Season 2 characters having better mulligans with Sage cards to dig for transforms. It's an argument, it's not necessarily one I agree with. So I invite the viewers to just pause the video when I zoom in on a card, because I probably won't give enough time to actually read the card. So these are some of the the weird key charges in Season 3. Oh, parrying something and missed. I want to bet one of the ultras. Oh no, just focus. So the hand is a bunch of Normas and Gyro. This thing. That's a really funny card, can sometimes hit for 10 or 11 damage or more. And beats projectiles. Doesn't really beat anything Hakumen has. Except Yukikaze if Yukikaze is initiated, because if Yukikaze is faster, it loses. So this boost stays for 2 turns on the opponent's turn and then your next turn, and after that it just becomes key charge and goes to your gates. So now Kami has the opportunity to use it either slide or as key charge, and the opponent can also choose if they will let this decision happen or just let them use a slide. Shelby decides that he wants the gates. Is boosting defend. In boosting defend at range 4 is interesting. I don't think it really represents anything. Oh, Janagi, boosting Janagi is just passing turn. This is a very weak boost. But boosting anything is better than striking with Hakumen. Hakumen is not a character that wants to strike, because whenever he doesn't strike he gets free resources. Boosting this is preferable to doing C0 to draw one card. It's a weak effect, but is better than nothing. Oh, Hakumen is my main character, and is also one of MiX's favorite characters. Yeah. He plays Hakumen a lot, especially in tournament, I think. MiX has Carmine in his... Oh, reading is happening. He read Assault, yeah. So he was going to play this card, but he didn't. So now he gets Kami in a better position. He discards 2 cards and then goes to range 1. That's 5 damage. Yeah, yes. Devastating reading. Devastating. How did he know Kami had Assaulting Hand? If he doesn't hit the reading, the sweep would have whiffed. It was pretty high risk. I wonder what his train of thought was to know he had Assaulting Hand, or at least suspect it strongly enough. So MiX deciding not to advance, because advancing will mean Spiral Arrow, which is Kami's strongest card, will be really hard to beat. This is really good at range 1. And other reasons, well, CQC is not online, but it's pretty obvious that this is really strong at range 1. Kami is boosting light, securing a speed advantage, threatening a very fast spike. Very fast spike that will still lose to Elma. Normally one of the weaker Hakumen specials, but it beats a spike at range 2. That is one of the uses it has. I believe the main use it has is EXing it for a DP. Makes it a very strong DP. But yeah, it's still useful to just beat the spike, even with light in play. I believe MiX has prepped. Yeah, because he had 4 cards in hand, the reading and the sweep. So MiX prepping, adding Sipu to gates. This Sipu is not lost, it's gonna be recurred by his seed. Hakumen seed side recurring the cards in his overdrive. Kami moves 3. So she's going to range 5, where Hakumen doesn't hit with anything, except Yukikase, which technically is online, it is not good here. Meanwhile, Kami still hits with several of her cards. Spiral Arrow hits, although not the best at this range, because he will trade down to slows. Normally this beats slows, because he just dodges them. Wow, MiX is going to range 6. So he's saying, I am happy if neither of us can hit with anything. I will just keep building gates forever. Yeah, he forgot the UA. Yeah, Hakumen, just one of those characters that are just happy if the game goes as long as possible. Probably one of the happiest characters with that, because he has an infinite deck, and he is building free resources every single turn. Something is being parried and it misses. Maybe Sipu? Because Sipu is actually range 6. So it actually hits here. I mean, I was saying nothing hits because Hakumen is not very likely to play Sipu at range 6 when he's not still. So MiX has a hand, not very many normals. He has a cross, he has a focus. Oh, he's just reading something. It's one way to get rid of the focus. It's very likely this is the cross also. With the Guren, Emma, Zantetsu. Zantetsu doesn't hit, Guren hits. Nice, so he's reading dive probably to hit with something. I believe this card is cross, but we will see. So Kami's hand is block cross. CQC, and Gyro, one of each ultra. Is not a very strong hand. The only playable card is Block, because Cross is not doing anything here, is it? Yeah, the dive is to break Kami's positioning while getting rid of the sweep. And Hakumen is probably playing Cross to also get rid of the Cross. That is what I think. Because all of these cards miss. No, it's just Guren. So Guren hits up to here. So he's keeping the Cross in hand. Cross is really safe to keep here, because even if Kami reads it, which she isn't because he doesn't have reading, even in that case, the Cross is safe, because nothing hits. So he is just playing Guren because it doesn't matter. And now he's playing Cross to go to range 2. Range 2 because Emma in hand is good at range 2. And we are already at 6. Oh, Kami preps, Hakumen preps, 7 gates. The Hakumen seed is really close. This was a very interesting sequence of plays. A really weird reading from it that I don't think I understand. That was very low risk, potentially high but not super high reward. And then Kami loses the light. I mean, that was probably the main reason for that reading, is to make Kami lose light. It's like a tech. And then Kami just moves forward because she realizes that range 6 is not benefiting her. And then Hakumen says, okay, I will get rid of the Cross while moving to a range that I like even better than this. And now both players sitting in front of the center space of the board, staring each other in the battle position. Yeah, Shelby is saying, I prefer range 4 to range 6. And Hakumen is saying, I prefer range 2 to range 4. Which fits what I know about both characters. I have played both of them. Kami not very much at all, but I play a lot of Hakumen. So range 2 is a range where these cards hit. Enma hits, Santetsu hits, Santetsu 7 power attack, really dangerous if you get hit with it. The game is now really hard for you, because Hakumen really likes life leads, because life leads are the one thing that he cannot secure early game, because he is basically making free gates instead of striking. So usually he's trading down against the opponent's aggression, and then he has to come back from that life disadvantage. But when Hakumen has a life lead, he's chilling. Oh, very nice, massive. And 8 gates. So next turn, Hakumen 16. Potentially 16. Not necessarily. Still a lot of gates to be made from this deck. 4 gates, exactly. But sometimes or often you don't really want to go through your whole deck before seeing, because it makes you weaker to reading. And Kami still has 1 reading, I believe. But yeah, he's boosting massive, really powerful boost. Basically makes every single card better. It even makes Grasp better, because Grasp is now a DP. And even if it trades, it has armor. But obviously this is better than defend by a significant margin. 2 armor, 2 guard is better than 1 armor, 3 guard. Oh, Kami's striking. This could very well be a spike. No, it's just focus. Yeah, see, he only took 1 damage. So it's a beneficial trade for Hakumen, basically. 1 damage, 2-3 damage. You lose the Exalt, which is not the most valuable for Hakumen, but still really valuable. And now he has 9 gauge and he has the choice to seed. Or he could prep once before seeding to exceed with a 7 card hand, which is really powerful. But yeah, Kami using the advantage that Massive is not boosting power, is the only thing that is not boosting, because boosting range is basically boosting speed. Massive is not boosting power, so focus is pretty safe and gets rid of the boost, but still loses the trade. This is not a position Kami likes, range 1 of Hakumen, although now... Oh no, range 1 now is good for Kami. CQC is online. CQC dodges everything, and then she can position you in either corner or wherever she wants, really. She can position you in literally any space. For this reason, Hakumen decides to retreat 1 with force from hand and makes the 10th gauge. See, it's not needed to just sit immediately. You can just keep making gauge. 4 cards in hand and seeds in deck. Reading MiX will be a risk. Is far and away from being a guaranteed reading. And actually, both readings might be done. I cannot look at discard piles, but it's possible both readings are done. So a card was boosted and immediately attack. 11 gauge. MiX has the option to get back Yukikase and Sipu from his overdrive. He also has utility like dive, assault, the backstep boost. He has tools like +2 speed, +2 power. He has powerful strikes like Zantetsu. He has long range strikes like Guren to close the distance if it's needed. Kami is boosting fierce and Hakumen is responding by boosting light, and there is basically only 1 turn left for Hakumen, and prepping is not an option now. Light is stuck and MiX is staying. So he wants parry, he wants both ultras. He wants Zantetsu, of course, this is a really powerful card. He wants Emma. A strong utility makes many things not safe at range 2. Tech for utility, light in case it's needed, and Guren to close the distance. Yeah, I kind of hit the nail in which of these were more useful. And he's reshuffling his deck without using a reshuffle. And now he has 4 gates to spare, so his next seed will be really soon after the first one finishes. Kami is not in a good position. She could try to go back to range 1 to keep threatening CQC and perhaps Spiral Arrow, which is safer at range 1. Although in this position it will still lose to sweep. Kami saying no, I do not want to be in range 2, but I also don't want to be at range 1. So I am going to range 5, where Hakumen can only hit with a 4 power Sipu. which is not the worst, not the best, not the worst. It's still a free hit for Hakumen, but it's way better for Kami than if she hits 8 damage. 8 damage is not good to it. Of course, Kami can still hit from this distance. Gyro Driver hits full board. Razor Edge Slider hits at range 5. And Spiral Arrow still hits. So she's still threatening strikes with +2 power. Spiral Arrow cruises Sweep and also cruises Tantetsu. Not quite enough to cruise Sipu. So that will be a bad trade. Because Sipu has 10 delta. 7 power is not enough to trade up on it. And this card is usually used as a range dodge, it's not a very good strike. Which is why it was boosted early. I really don't like this position for Kami. At least she has one more turn now before she starts being hit by Hakumen. Because Hakumen cannot really move in easily. He doesn't have a crossing here to boost movement forward, and Guren doesn't hit. Neither does Genagi, which is the other range 4 card Hakumen has. Yeah, he's getting back Sipu. I agree with that decision, and yeah, Sweep is not very valuable. Getting back Sipu, so now if he strikes, it's probably Sipu. But also it's a really, really powerful card that you want to have around. You can play it in almost any position. It hits full board and it's very safe. So now MiX is, I believe, spending 1 force to... Oh, he's retreating. Yeah, he's saying, I am fine with hitting Sipu from range 6. It's not the best value, but you are still losing because you cannot hit back from this range. Unless you play Gyro Drive. So... let's see. So yeah, MiX knows that there is a Gyro Drive in Shelby's hand, unless he discarded it and I didn't notice. I hope that didn't happen. But his Gyro Driver will beat Sipu really hard because it goes first and it will hit for 7 plus the amount of spaces you pull. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It will hit for 12 damage, which beats Sipu really, really hard. This could be signifying that MiX is baiting Gyro Drive. So what is he baiting it with? This is a really hard card to beat from this range. So if he dives in, he will get hit for 9 damage. Still a lot. Oh, is he gonna block it? He might be blocking it. Focus does trade with it because right now it is only 7 damage, and if you cannot pull, it's not doing any more damage, right? So Shelby probably knows this and is presenting it. Wow. Shelby not willing to just smash the Gyro Drive. Not willing to trade into the possible focus. So he's using 2 force to move forward to range 4 where basically everything hits. I mean, this doesn't, but this... Well, this doesn't either. This hits, this hits, this hits, this hits. Dive hits. Well, this is Nosgar, so it beats Sipu. The others still trade down. So I hope I got MiX's plan right. That he is presenting focus to beat Gyro Drive. If that was his intention, then I guess Shelby didn't fell for the bait or bait. Shelby didn't fall for it. MiX is getting back something. He's still thinking about it. He has been thinking about it for a while now. He's probably trying to go over all the possibilities. There is a lot of possibilities. He could get tech to get rid of the fears. He could get Yukikase. Yeah. Wow, he's just boosting massive. Yeah. Now he's threatening a bunch of things. So now, obviously Gyro Drive is not safe anymore. Dive could have hidden it before, but now Gyro can be hit by Assault. And... well, it always was possible to be hit by Janagi. So I wonder, does MiX still think that Shelby won't play the Gyro Drive? The damage is the same. It is less safe because more options that actually hit are live. Namely Assault. The damage is still 12. Yukikase will trade down on it, but the +2 armor in a way counteracts the +2 power, so now focus is still beating it and it's still very safe. Enma is known. Santetsu might be known. Yeah, means deciding to tech one of the boosts. No, he's not taking. He's discarding from Overdrive and getting back Guren. And using Guren to pay 1 force and have +1 range. And now strike. So he is striking. Now he has +2 range, so everything hits. There's a lot of stuff that hits. Enma hits. Well, why am I saying that there is a lot of stuff that hits? Emma hits now. I mean, obviously, yeah, there is a lot of stuff that is hitting now. Everything range 2 or above now hits. But I'm really looking forward for options that beat Gyro Drive, because I find it hard to believe that MiX is not playing around the known Gyro Drive. And I think he's getting into Shelby's head. Shelby knows the Gyro Drive is known. Is probably thinking about mashing it. Probably wants to try, right? But so many things could go wrong. If this is Emma, this is really above curve. With a lot of defensive stats. Emma will be presenting a pretty decent trade into anything, I think. Well, I don't know what else to say. Shelby is going through every possibility right now. or trying to. But this is a mix-up with so many cards. Yeah, he's critting. Oh, it is Emma. Yeah, this will be a trade. MiX took 5 damage, Shelby took 3 damage. All the boosts were diffused on both sides. Kami may be expecting the focus, because with +2 range focus hits. So now it is a really safe option into Gyro Drive, but Cannonball beats focus. Because of the defend, the kind of telegraph Emma doesn't really beat anything, because it's not breaking these defensive stats. So playing something like Cannonball is pretty safe into that. I think this is overall a trade that Kami likes, except for the new position. The new position means Gyro Drive is not really something you can play anymore. And now Hakumen is threatening full power Sipu. And also Zantetsu. I think there's a Zantetsu in MiX's hand. I think it's known. I probably should be keeping track of cards better, but this is my first day, so you will have to forgive me. MiX's play has been really interesting this series. There's a lot of plays that are not obvious. This Emma was less obvious than it looks, because it's so obvious and so safe while not really beating anything. That is really obvious, so it makes the opponent think twice about playing into it, right? Yeah, Shelby decided to go for the option that beats his known Gyro Drive, the focus that beats his known Gyro Drive. So like a 3-way mix-up in here. Wow. Discarding Spiral Arrow to go to range 1. And MiX immediately parries CQC, and his overdrive is over. Hakumen only got 1 strike in, but he is already at 6 gauge, so the second overdrive will come really soon. And Kami's deck is already almost empty. If the game keeps going longer and longer with Hakumen on a life lead, Hakumen is just gonna win. And now 2 CQCs are down, so the really safe range 1 option not at play anymore until Kami reshuffles. If Kami reshuffles early, she's making her eventual... Yeah, she's reshuffling, she realizes she needs CQC in this match as soon as possible. Wow, what is being parried? Focus is being parried, very well. So now, do you guys realize what happened here? One focus is trap engage, the other was discarded with parry. Kami has no reading anymore. Hakumen's information bleeding, not a factor anymore for the remainder of this match. No more readings from Kami. Kami is striking. Okay. Shelby drew 1 card from his fresh deck. Shelby has drawn 1 card. Is it a CQC? It is not CQC, it is cross. Oh! MiX called the cross out, beating it with grasp. And now he has 8 gates. He can steal immediately if he wants. Will he do it? Now he has a reading in overdrive. Huh. Putting her at range 2, still doesn't want to risk the CQC. Boosting light, not overdriving yet. Now that there is no information bleeding, he can just keep getting free gauge until his deck is almost empty. So Kami is retreating 4. MiX is... no, retreating 3 actually. He retreated 3. MiX is following with his own movement. The +2 speed is threatening a lot of things. Same mix-up as always. Speed 7 assault. Speed 5 spike. Speed 4 Zantetsu. That's a thing. I don't know what it beats that it doesn't already. Oh no, it matters. Speed 4 Zantetsu beats Spike and EX Sweep. Spike and EX Sweep are both really good answers to Zantetsu. Wow, the second cross is coming out now. Kami is cornered. And MiX has so much gates. 1, 2, 3, 6, 11. Now MiX can play Sipu or Yukikaze Rao, paying 4 gates and still have 8 gates after the fact. He has 1 card left in deck, but it doesn't matter because there is no information bleeding anymore. And now he's finally overdriving. Oh my god, Kami is not in a good spot. It is a really bad spot. Yeah, Hakumen, a really powerful character. Kami has not been able to pressure at all. Oh, something happened. Shelby drew 1 more card than he had to draw. Probably something like that. So yeah, MiX putting Emma, which is useful at range 2, reading, backstep, and assault. Well, assault is really good with sweeping play. Grasp, interesting. Janagi, both Janagis, very interesting. I wonder if it's because it's better than this. Shelby checking the discard pile before it is shuffled. Wait, what was that? I mean, that Sipu is known, but... Yeah... Speed 3 Sipu beats Spike. So... he could play it face up. I don't think... oh no, never mind. This is another light here. Yeah, no, he was not playing it face up. Shelby probably asked if the Sipu was known and the Sipu was shown. I think that's what happened. Oh, he's saying what all the cards left. EX Sipu, Yukikaze, Gurin, Zantetsu, and Focus. That is a really scary hand. One of these cards is not in MiX's hand and all the others are. Plus a mystery card. Really scary hand. Kami has not been able to pressure Hakumen in early game. She survived the first seed very remarkably well using good boosting game. The only offensive action that MiX could take was a bad, semi-bad trade with Enma. And that's it. But the second seed is probably going to hurt way more. Kami is moving to range 1. CQC is not being threatened at 2 gates. Gyro drive doesn't work here. Wait, it does work. I'm an idiot. Yeah, gyro is a full war strike. I mean, it works in that it hits. It hits and does 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 damage, which is a lot of damage, but a speed 2 with no defenses. So yeah, not really very realistic. Beats Sipu with nothing else. Yeah, MiX is just discarding Assault to play tech. He is not willing to strike into that light, and now Sipu is incredibly safe because since Kami moved to range 1, offensive spike is not on the table. Kami can always... Kami moved to range 1 for a reason. She either has CQC in hand and is planning to key charge or something, which will be a weird play, or she is just presenting Spiral Arrow. Spiral Arrow, very safe card at range 1 with 5 defensive stats. There is nothing faster than it that can break the guard. Even with light in play, I believe, because spike doesn't hit. What are Hakumen's options? Yeah, Renka doesn't beat it, Santetsu still doesn't beat it. Not on defense, at least. Okay, Shelby's turn was parrying Santetsu. Block is not very useful when you are being threatened by Speed 4 Santetsu. MiX is getting focus and playing focus immediately. Playing reading immediately. Oh, missed. Reading spike. Okay, yeah, reading spike at range 1 is always good. I think no spike in hand was being suggested by Shelby by moving to range 1. So he has Spiral Arrow, Wraithor's Edge Slicer, Dive Kick, and EX Gyro Driver. EX Gyro Driver, speed 3, still really unsafe, but still hits for 10. And Spiral Arrow is played. Oh, Spiral Arrow is played without critting. It's played without critting, no defensive stats, just loses route to Enma. Shelby was not expecting a fast card to have been played with the reading spike. He gets hit by Emma. Oh my god, was MiX trying to miss on purpose? He was trying to miss? That is... oh my lord, if that is what just happened, that is crazy. Kami saying, I have to get out of here, and just going to range 3 by boosting Razor sets. So now the hand is Kick, EX Gyro, and 2 cards. Huh? Why does Shelby have... oh, did he wild swing? The other Spiral Arrow was not it. It wasn't from hand. That's why it wasn't crit. I didn't notice that. Has to be what happened though. Okay, Hakumen is getting back. I didn't see what he got back. Janagi. And he's playing Guren, beating Grasp. Beating Wild Swing Grasp. Jesus Christ, that's advantage for Hakumen. Fortunately, he won't have he won't have a seed side now. But already at 5 gates. The third seed is coming soon. Boosting massive again. Massive at range 1 presents sweep that really beats everything because it hits full board. Hakumen in the center space with range 4 sweep. Hits full board. Kami needs the other cannonball to beat that. At least at range 1. Only one cannonball left in deck. Might have been drawn. Hand is still Spiral, Kick, ES Gyro, and one mystery card. MiX still has at least one Sipu in hand. And he either has, he is likely to have Focus, the other Sipu, or both. Sipu with these stats is just boosting power to beat Sipu is not an option anymore. The EX Gyro is doing 9 damage, and the Sipu with +2/+2 defensive stats is not losing to that. Kami is striking. She is taking it. It's either cannonball or just running into the Sipu. Or the sweep, I guess. The sweep still hits full bore. Sipu also hits full bore. But if Kami advances into range 3-4, sweep is hitting harder than Sipu. So maybe sweep is a better play here? But both of them lose to cannonball. This strike was critical. So he's definitely trying. If it's not cannonball, he's trying to present cannonball. Or if he's not trying to present it, then it's being presented. MiX really thinking hard about what this is. He probably wants to just smash one of his slows that cover full board, but he also has to be worried about cannonball. Of course, if he loses to cannonball, then cannonball is down, and he still has a gigantic life lead, but you don't want to give your opponent any comeback chances. Kami can still hit like a truck with gyro drive. A comeback is really hard, but it's not impossible. Oh, he's playing EX Yanagi beats Cannonball. It was dive kick. Huh. So he was trying to beat something that beats Cannonball, and it didn't work because EX Yanagi just has a lot of guard. This. Yeah, he was trying to beat. Or maybe he misread the card. This doesn't dodge in this position. Oh, but it dodges Janagi. It couldn't dodge if Hakumen just plays something that doesn't move Hakumen. But Hakumen played Janagi, so he closes and dive kick dodges. And now CQC is being boosted. Oh my god, I had totally forgotten about this boost. Attacks at range 1 do not hit you. This is actually a boost that assists. So yeah, this is why Kami is a strong character just has strong cards. She's probably not the strongest character, but she can certainly win games just leveraging the individual power of her tools. Defense being boosted and CQC boost going to gates. Now the actual CQC is being threatened. But Hakumen just boosts light and full gates again. The like is deck and Hakumen immediately goes into a seed. I really expect that he will be playing more aggressive now because there is very few risks left in Shelby's deck. On the other hand, there is very few things left in Shelby's deck. He will just die to decking eventually, so MiX could just play it safe, laying him out. Don't give him any comeback chances by risking a strike. Never strike. Boost stats, let him strike into you, and eventually Kami will die one way or another. That is a valid strategy. Of course, MiX could just be not satisfied with that, or maybe he just thinks it's not the best strategy and try to finish the game quicker. Yeah, MiX telling Shelby the contents of his deck because it's faster for MiX to know what cards he has left because he knows his hand. Meanwhile, Shelby has to do more card counting. So this hand is containing everything here except two of them. So EX Sipu still being threatened, one Yukikaze, one Zantetsu, one Renka, one Emma. Renka and Emma not the strongest cards, but they have their uses. And of course, block and cross. Block is a good defensive tool normally, but against Kami, many of her cards hit anyway, so it's not the safest. In fact, now with Defend in play, Gyro Drive Smasher is way safer. If he crosses out, he will be eating nothing. 5 damage because of the way Gyro Drive works. Kami will be in the corner and Hakumen will be here after the cross, so he's been pulled 0 spaces. Okay, Kami is striking, Hakumen is actually just playing the cross. Oh yeah, he notices. Yeah. He's hit by Gyro Drive, but only for 5 damage. And he's also kind of trading 2 damage into Shelby, cross going to gates. Now Kami is corner and it's Hakumen's turn. So he's losing this trade but gaining a better position. The other Gyro Drive is being threatened 2 gates, it's in hand, but now despite it doing 11 damage, it is not safe at all without the defense boost. Just incredibly unsafe. So it's being threatened but not really. MiX doing something I like doing, which is boosting Gurin while in overdrive. You don't need to strike immediately, you can just keep +3 power to your next strike and strike later. This means even if Sipu is dodge, sort of, is still hitting for 7, which is sadly the life that Kami has remaining. Kami just prepares, just admitting I don't have the tools to deal with this situation. Maybe could have thought about changing cards, but with 3 cards in hand and a CQC, no, not a CQC, a gyro driver in hand. Changing cards, he cannot get rid of gates, right, because he might need it. Landing a huge gyro driver is probably the only hope Shelby has left. So he cannot so easily get rid of the gates. So changing cards will only give him 6 cards in hand instead of 5. Maybe he needs options, but he also needs the cards that he already had in hand. No, actually, I'm an idiot. Changing cards will leave him with 4 cards in hand. So yeah, it's not even. This prepare is just signifying to me that Kami is really in a really bad spot because she just didn't have any tools in hand to deal with this situation. Parry? MiX is parrying something. Oh, he's parrying block. I don't want you to block my damage. So this is what's in hand. Fierce. Light. Gyro drive. Cannon spike. And spiral arrow. A lot of cards that lose to Sipu. Shelby getting rid of the known normals to draw 3 cards. MiX returning Enma to hand by discarding cross, and now he's reading something. I'm playing an EX. Shelby did not draw the named normal. So yeah, in this spot, Gyro Drive will beat Sipu, but it doesn't beat EX Sipu, because EX Sipu is 2 speed. Gyro being played, it was EX Emma, 7 speed, and deals 8 damage. It beats everything except block, which was parried, although it missed. Well, Shelby didn't draw the block, so he is dying. GG. Oh, interesting that Shelby played the gyro drive when EX Sipu beats it. Basically every single EX in the game beats it. So probably a desperation play, didn't really think through to it. Oh man, that was a really long game. It was really interesting Hakumen play. Kami surviving pretty well at the beginning and just surviving later and finally just dies. Hakumen doing Hakumen things. Kami could just not pressure Hakumen before Hakumen started running her out of resources. Her deck was running low. Oh, the focus engaged and the focus that was parried meant the information bleeding doesn't matter anymore, and Hakumen is now even more powerful. He doesn't even have to think about when to seed. Not that much, anyway. So now Shelby is down 2-0. If he loses another game, he is out. He still has all his crafters available while Ken and Hakumen, which are MiX's favorite characters to play in this tournament so far, are out. And there's the Carmine. So yeah, MiX's team is Ken, Hakumen, Carmine, and Plague Knight. This is the first time MiX plays Carmine in this tournament, despite Carmine being considered a really strong character. So does MiX think that Hakumen and Ken are just even better than Carmine? Or is he not playing Carmine as a statement that he doesn't need to play Carmine to win? We will never know. But I know MiX likes Plague Knight a lot, but he lost 2 games in a row with Plague at the start of the tournament, and that's the only round he has lost. So he seems to have lost faith in Plague and is not going to play Plague Knight anymore. Now Shelby is selecting his 3rd character, Polar Knight. Polar Knight might be the strongest character in his team, although that could also be Rachel. Now this is a really interesting matchup. I believe this matchup is favor for Polar Knight. Carmine is one of the strongest characters in the game. Many people want him banned. Many people in this very tournament are having incredible results with Carmine. But Polar Knight, with his ability to just boost a lot of power to break Carmine's slows, because his whole kit, besides Thrust, is as slows. Right, 3 slows and 3 ultras. Carmine is a slow character and Polar Knight boosts a lot of power. Oh wow, that's a round start attack. Polar Plow into Pulverize. Oh. Carmine missed. Polar Plow actually is slower and doesn't advance until after he hits. So, well, the armor makes Pulverize pretty safe. So yeah, Polar Knight has good tools to deal with Carmine's cards, so this might actually be a negative matchup for Carmine, or at least it is one of the more losable matchups for Carmine at the very least. Let's see. MiX has not played Carmine this tournament, so let's see how good he is at piloting Carmine and how good Shelby is at piloting Polar. I believe, yeah, Shelby knows that Carmine is probably coming because Ken and Hakumen are retired from this match. Maybe Shelby also believes that Polar is good into Carmine. Another strike. Really aggressive Polar gameplay. And that is a win for Carmine. Yeah. Shovel drop will not hit. 3 spikes on board already though. I do not know why Shelby's HP is down. So he took 3 damage at the beginning. I don't know why. With Pulverize is slower than Polar Plow, so he actually was hit. Okay, my bad. Yeah, so he was at 26. Oh, I'm an idiot. Yeah, Pulverize is 1 speed. Yeah. Oh, for some reason I thought he didn't hit. Because Shelby was not taking his HP down. Yeah. Oh, this caster apologizes for his stupidness. Oh wow! Just replaying the dissolve and moving forward. He cannot, like with this board, it's impossible to not be on a spike. So yeah. In range 1, he's threatening 5 power grasp, which is decent. Polar being really aggressive, striking again. He's already at a decent life deficit. These strikes are risky. Maybe he thinks he's on a timer against Carmine? But this will... I have not actually played this matchup. I don't know how Polar has to play. It's all theoretical. Maybe being really aggressive is the way to pressure Carmine. Usually my understanding is that you have to carefully set up a strike to make sure that Carmine is losing that strike and losing his dissolves. And that aggressive play cannot easily work because he has really strong defensive tools. Yeah, he's just blocking. It was a dive. Interesting. He's thinking about removing the spike. The +2 damage will be blocked by 1 force, but maybe it is worth it. I think Shelby has decided it is not worth it. Yeah, he decides it's worth it. So that's 7 damage incoming. MiX is already blocking 2. He decides that running Carmine out of 1 force is worth the trouble. Carmine could have just paid with gates, which he doesn't need much of. Technically, I mean the ultras are really good, but he's gonna keep getting gates, right? And he can always make more gates with revert. But yeah, he's just discarding one of these 3 and a sweep. And Carmine preps and Polar is striking again. Now Carmine is not standing on an ice spike, so he's not risking anything. Not even Shovel Slam. Shovel Slam could remove this spike to pull Carmine here, but there's nothing. There's nothing there. Okay, so this will be a more or less even trade. Sweep into focus, kind of. MiX is not drawing a card like he will be with focus. But when it comes to the life lead, it's even. Oh no! Oh, that was a very unfortunate mistake. Shelby dragged his whole hand and it was seen. That is an illegal play. I assume MiX probably will forgive him and keep playing. Although he could maybe try to discard normals just in case. C5 gates. Carmine makes... Season Seeds in general makes a lot of gates that they sometimes don't need. Or just massing focus. Another losing trade for Polar. You cannot afford to lose that many strikes against Carmine, because when he hits you, he will hit you for a lot. Okay, he's Shelby doing the wrong order on rebuild again. You draw 2, and then you can decide if you want to draw more. It's important because if you are digging for something specific, you may want to not remove any spikes. Although we're warding again. Thank you, Season 4, particularly Polar Knight. If you don't remove an ice spike, you don't put disengage. Okay, he's +2 power now strike. Now, that is a really powerful boost against Carmine for the reasons mentioned. Now Carmine is out of pulverize and focus, so the maximum guard he can have is 6. Oh, it's just grasp. Yeah, 7 power grasp though. He's thinking about pushing him here, I think. No, he's just putting the spike from grasp here. Okay. Yeah, that's a 7 damage grasp. Yeah, that will have crushed. Give me that. And spin and sweep. But MiX correctly guessing and playing block. It's also unfortunate for Shelby that he had the second block, but Carmine has gone through a lot of his deck. And now there is 2 of these. Carmine decided to not move backwards, so the only card that can benefit from this dissolve is Thrust. But now Thrust is 7 power. So it is 1 0. It is a 0 3 7 6. Really a scary strike. Polar boosting defense to try to survive the thrust. And now Carmine preps and Shelby will respond by changing cards. I wonder why he's not changing cards with Ultra though. Oh no, he's not changing cards, he's just sitting. Not a very high value ST trigger. He only places 1 spike, but it is a very important spike, and also the +1 power matters a lot. Every bit of power that you get against Carmine is important. Carmine is using Rain Blood, really powerful boost. He advances or retreats 2 and then plays a dissolve from the discard pile. The only cost is taking 1 damage. So now Carmine is threatening his whole deck with +6 power. Polar gets out of there using this boost. This boost will remove the spikes in these 2 spaces, which means that Carmine can safely retreat here, and there we go. Carmine is not on top of the boosted ice spikes anymore. I personally believe Polar Knight's ST side is not very valuable. I prefer using all the gates for ultras and for force, but Shelby likes using it, and it's powerful indeed, especially if the game goes long, which this one might not. Oh boy. Shelby is striking. Not a lot of economy on Polar's side right now. He may be thinking that this strike is winning or losing him the game. Maybe winning. I mean, hopefully for Shelby, winning. +1 range means dive and shovel drop hit. Polar Pro already hits, and also is 2 damage, so I think it's probably not that. Shovel drop is really dangerous, because it gets crushed by sweep and by spin. Spin is 8 power right now. Yeah, he's actually just playing Thrust. It's Shovel Drop. So he removes 1 plus 1 range, he removes 1 plus 2 range, he removes the third one plus 3 range, so this becomes a 1, a 0, 4 thrust. 1, 2, 3, 4. He misses. MiX has made. Wait. Oh! Yeah, Thrust, you can order the before effects, because all of them are before. You can order them in any order. So Thrust is always gonna hit. You don't need to calculate from Carmine's space, you can just calculate from the furthest solve. So that is a 9 power thrust that hits Polar for a lot of damage. 7 damage. And things are really hard now. Ha ha ha, BD bar. And the game is over. This was a 1-4-9-6. That is a shape if I have ever seen one. Although that thrust was like 1-7-9-6, so yeah. Really strong shapes. Basically unbeatable. Nothing Polar can do about it. You have to do something about Carmine early before he gets set up, or discard and thrust will just eat you alive. Congratulations to MiX for winning the set. That was a 3-0. It was not a quick 3-0 because the second game was really long. That's standard for Hakumen, isn't it? They seem to be talking about something. Of course, I don't know what that is. Maybe something about the matchup? I hope you guys enjoyed this. I really enjoyed it. There were a lot of cool lines being played by both players. MiX, really solid, really strong player. Didn't seem to break a sweat this whole match. Both matches were won with huge life leads. Shelby fought valiantly, but in the end, it wasn't enough. Congratulations to Shelby for making top 8 though. I hope we see more of him in the future, and I hope I will get to play against him in the future too, because I always like facing strong opponents. Carmine being tossed into the thrash violently. Yeah. This is already a long video. Oh, pinging something? Yeah, this boost is really stupid. I think they are talking about the matchup and about what Polar can do in this matchup. So yeah, I do have the theory that Polar should be good into Carmine, maybe even plus into Carmine. but I have not tested the matchup. I play Polar, and I very much would like to test that matchup in the future. It was really interesting and really fun to see it play out, although not in the way I would hope it does, because I like Polar, you know? If Polar can actually beat Carmine, that is really cool. Well, that is going to be all. This is already a long video and there is probably nothing interesting I can say anymore, so yeah. Plague Knight unplayed, Byakuya unplayed. That could have been a matchup, certainly. Yeah, this is a really strong card. Oh, see you guys around. I hope my casting wasn't too bad. If it was bad, you can always just mute my audio and just watch the players play at your own pace. Have a nice day.